Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Free Trainer 3.0 version 3. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So let me get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at the new Free Trainer 3.0. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys have already recognized that these are not soccer shoes, and that's because these are actual trainers, which is a style of shoe that I get questions on all the time. People are always asking me, what is a good off-the-field training shoe for more soccer-specific types of drills? And the new Free Trainer 3.0 version 3 is one shoe that jumped out at me in particular as being a really good soccer-specific type of trainer. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this shoe, we're going to be talking about it in detail in today's video. For those that are wondering, this particular training model just came out from Nike. It has a retail price of $110 US. If you guys are interested in the pair for yourself, first link down below in the description. It'll take you to the review page on my website where you will find buy it now links for multiple colorways, including the one that you're seeing right here in today's video. And again, if you want to learn a little bit more about this training model, please stick around, leave some feedback down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think of featuring training shoes every once in a while on the channel. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. Before we even get into the shoes, I want to talk about the difference between running shoes and training shoes, because I get this question a lot and there is actually a very, very distinct difference. With a running shoe, it's designed for a jogging type of movement in a straight line with no changes of direction at all, or at least intense changes of direction. The upper is generally a lot less structured, much more flexible, especially in the forefoot and toe box area, generally for comfort reasons, and the cushioning setup generally tends to be a little bit more substantial depending on what type of running shoe that you're talking about. I'm going to be comparing this to a more traditional style running shoe with a pretty thick midsole and a mostly mesh-based upper. So in a running shoe, if you try to make those quick movements, those quick cuts, you're going to find that there's just not much stability to the upper. You're going to get a lot of rollover. Your foot's going to slide around on the base of the shoe, and you get that sensation of instability. And that's because you're using the running shoe for a type of movement that it was not designed for. It's designed for straight line running at a consistent pace. Now, a training shoe is designed for pretty much everything. You can jog, you can run, you can make quick cuts, you can turn, you can do everything that you could possibly want because the upper is a lot more structured. It's designed to handle those intense movements, and that's exactly what the new Free Trainer 3.0 version 3 is all about. The reason why I picked out this shoe to feature on the channel is not only because one, it's brand new and I thought a lot of people would be interested in it, but two, it's a Nike Free model, which is very popular. And three, I thought it was good for soccer-specific applications, as this is a training model that is going to more closely mimic the feel of a soccer shoe in that it's very low profile and extremely flexible. So what you're getting here with the Free Trainer 3.0 version 3 is a very thick mesh material for the upper that's soft and flexible in all the right areas, but you have a pretty thick layer of fuse over top. So this is a very common application for a running shoe, and we're seeing more and more of this mesh-based upper with fuse overlays in soccer. We see it with the Flyknit uppers on the Obra and the Superfly, and of course the actual Nike Skin upper on the Hypervenom Phantom is a mesh-based material with a fused-on overlay. So the fused-on overlays are, like I said, pretty thick and provide lots of extra rigidity. So you're going to find it along the edges of the toe box and forefoot area, the sides of the midfoot, and also incorporated into that mesh upper is the actual Flywire material that runs from the base of the sole directly into the lacing system, mainly in the forefoot, midfoot area of the shoe to keep your foot really locked in place when you are making those quick cuts and hard, more intense movements. So if you wanted to run suicides or something like that, your foot is going to stay locked in place right on the surface, right on the top of the outsole without it sliding around or moving around and having that sensation of instability. These keep you locked down and, like I said, just feel really, really stable, nice and kind of secure, I guess is the best way to put it. Laces run right through the middle, which is really, really nice. There's also a nice breathability to this particular shoe because it is mainly made from mesh, no backing material on the inside whatsoever. It does have somewhat of a heel counter. It's not necessarily plastic, but it is a harder material. So again, your heel is not going to be sliding side to side in this particular shoe. And the inside heel liner is also very minimal, similar to a soccer shoe. There's really no extra padding, just a very slight amount of padding that is kind of difficult to see just running across the back of the shoe to keep your heel locked in place, which is really, really nice. And these things are surprisingly comfortable, as low profile as they actually are. The insole is also very minimal. It features a nice soft material on top, almost like a cotton-like texturing. And it's just made from a single layer of foam, as you guys can see. But really the main appeal and why I thought this would be a particularly good soccer-specific training model is that, one, it's a Nike Free, so it's very, very flexible. And two, it's the 3.0 version, which means that the heel to toe offset is only 4 millimeters. Now, what I mean by that is that the heel of the shoe sits 4 millimeters higher than in the forefoot. So in a standard soccer shoe, you're generally going to have a 0 millimeter offset where the sole is completely flat. So you have a 4 millimeter offset here, which is not too far off. 4 millimeters is very, very minor. And in comparison to a standard running shoe, for example, those shoes generally have an offset of 10 to 12 millimeters, which is very much unlike a pair of soccer shoes. So to have something like this with that very low offset, they're basically completely flat. It's something, again, that's going to feel a lot more like a pair of soccer shoes, low profile and flat on your feet, as opposed to something like a running shoe that's going to have that fairly high 10 millimeter offset. Now, as far as the midsole is concerned, it's made from a Phyllite foam material that is relatively spongy feeling, but because it is so low profile on this particular shoe, there's not a ton of underfoot cushioning. Again, trying to mimic the feel of an actual soccer shoe where the only cushioning you're getting is from the actual insole itself. And of course, being that this is a Nike Free model, you have all kinds of cutouts across the bottom and side of the outsole. In this particular situation, they are hexagon cutouts, so it's flexible in pretty much all directions right out of the box. Again, something that is going to more closely mimic a pair of soccer shoes. Of course, some are stiffer than others, but for the most part, there are no soccer shoes out there that aren't going to have at least some flexibility in the toe box and forefoot area. So again, trying to mimic the feel of a soccer shoe, I think you're definitely going to get that sensation from the Free Trainer 3.0. Pretty much a solid Phyllite foam on the bottom, really not a lot of rubber here. The only rubber areas are going to be at the tip of the toe here in black, a little bit here at the ball of your foot in the forefoot, a little bit here on the outside, and of course right here at the base of the heel. Just enough rubber to keep the shoe nice and lightweight, very, very flexible, and still provide good traction when you are on concrete or any type of flat, hard surface. If you do choose to use these on grass, you are going to probably struggle at least a little bit as far as traction is concerned due to the minimal amount of tread on the bottom of this shoe. And as far as actually kicking the ball around in these shoes, it is definitely something that you could do. Just keep in mind that you do have completely exposed mesh here that I don't think would hold up all that well against scraping against the ball and scraping against potentially concrete or whatever type of surface you're actually playing soccer on, because the upper, like I said, is not designed to take the abuse from actually kicking the ball. So again, as far as a training model goes for soccer specific types of applications, suicide, sprints, hard cuts, stuff like that, even just general jogging, this is a great pair of shoes, even if it's just a pair of shoes going to and from the field. Again, it's something that's more low profile, more soccer specific as far as training models, if you ask me. But again, everybody has their own opinions and preferences when it comes to off the field training footwear, but for me personally, I think that this is a really good soccer specific trainer. In terms of weight, the Nike Free Trainer 3.0 version 3 is going to feel nice and lightweight on your feet. I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time just so you have a good idea of how light these things actually are. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 10 US. We'll throw them on the scale and you can see that they weigh in at 9 ounces exactly. So not heavy, not light. As far as running shoes or training models go, 9 ounces is actually pretty darn lightweight. So again, these are certainly not going to weigh you down. And while you're training, even if your regular soccer shoes are 5 to 6 ounces, it certainly isn't going to hurt to have a little bit of extra weight on your feet. So even when you are done training, you go back to your regular soccer cleats that are perhaps a little bit lighter, they'll feel even that much lighter on your feet. So at 9 ounces, weight really isn't a concern here with the Free Trainer 3.0. All right, so here's a look at the Nike Free Trainer 3.0 on feet, and from right out of the box, these things are extremely comfortable. The mesh upper is flexible in all the areas that it needs to be, and when you pull the laces tight, you definitely feel all the structure from the fuse as well as the fly wire scattered across the entire shoe. So when you are making those quick cuts and lateral movements, your foot's not sliding around on the base of the outsole. Of course, that Nike Free outsole with the hexagon splits is extremely flexible in all directions, really no break-in time required. And as far far as the profile of the outsole is concerned, it's very thin. You only have that 4mm offset, which makes these feel very close to the ground and relatively flat overall. And you don't have that mushy sensation when you're walking around, running, or sprinting, which is going to make for better stability in the long run, and also just mimic the overall feel of a soccer shoe a little bit more closely than a traditional running shoe would. So again, as a soccer-specific pair of training shoes, I really like the Free Trainer 3.0, especially the latest version 3 model. As far as the fit of the shoe is concerned, very, very comfortable. It's a fairly wide shoe, so even if you have really wide feet, these will fit you very comfortably. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing a size 10 US. In most running shoes, I wear a 9.5 US. I've always found the Nike Free line to run about a half size small. So 10 US in this version of the shoe seems to fit me quite well. So again, I would say that they run about a half size small. So maybe worth considering going half a size up from your current running shoes or whatever shoes you're basing your size off of. But if you're coming from a previous Nike Free model or any Nike Free model for that matter, I would stick with the same size because the sizing, like I said, seems to be pretty much on par with previous Nike Free models. But again, really comfortable shoes, extremely flexible, nice and low to the ground, and a great pair of soccer-specific trainers. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the brand new Nike Free Trainer 3.0 version 3. If you're somebody that prefers something with a little bit more underfoot cushioning, something with more impact protection in general and more structure to it, then maybe the Free Trainer isn't the best option for you. But if you want something that is more along the lines of the feel you'll get from a pair of soccer cleats, and that it's very flexible, it's a little bit more lightweight, and features minimal amounts of underfoot cushioning, and of course more of a flat profile to the actual outsole, then something like the new Free Trainer 3.0 is an awesome soccer-specific trainer in comparison to pretty much everything else out there right now. So again, if you want a great pair of trainers, these will definitely provide that for you for a relatively reasonable price of $110 US. So if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, again, in multiple colorways, check out the review page on my website. It's the first link down below in the description. You will find buy it now links for a pair of these if you're interested in them. If you guys have any questions regarding this particular shoe at all, leave those down below in the comment section. I will get you an answer. And of course, if you have any suggestions for other video ideas or even other trainers you'd perhaps like to see featured on the channel, leave those suggestions down below, and of course, everything will be considered. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear if you haven't already, of course. All my social media information is down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.